Good evening, I'm Stacey Amos for News Channel 8, and these are the top stories that we have for you tonight. Threats to a St. Croix school cause concern. The EPA hits the Department of Health with a hefty fine, and we'll show you the highlights of our local Trayvon Martin protest. And breaking news, the shooter of Trayvon Martin will be prosecuted. Those stories and more are up next for you on News Channel 8. Top story tonight, the Department of Ed and the VIPD responded to threats against the students and staff at Ricardo Richards Elementary School. As the kids are let out of school, News Channel 8's Wes Small was at Ricardo Richards earlier today.
Well, as you can see, all is not well at Ricardo Richards. We've had some problems here. I do have some statements from Department spokesperson Anita Pancham and also Gary Malloy. I've been on phone with him all day. Here's what's going on at Ricardo Richards School. Looks like last night, unofficially, some Texas could have come in and some sick person or persons might have thought it's funny, but they threatened harm to these lovely children here and the teachers. Therefore, precautionary methods were held. 2:45, there was no after-school program here. I do know that. Here is a message from Department of Education. I'll read it direct. It was a threat phoned into 911 last night. Department of Education and the VIPD spent hours this morning. They've been here securing the school just to make sure that your children are okay. With that, let's go to Police Chief Hal. Hal had the Winnebago here so all the students could see from earlier today. This footage shot from Earl Morris.
So we're here at Ricardo Richards Elementary School, and as you can see, the students are starting to come in this morning. We're here with members of school security, K-9, and a couple members of special operations, and we're going to let the kids do a walkthrough inside the mobile command post and also check out the traffic Camaro. Just a little community outreach program we're doing here this morning, kind of at the last minute, and I think the kids will enjoy it.
The Department of Education and the VIPD will keep you updated on any further developments. So for now, all is well at Ricardo Richards Elementary School in Strawberry. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
As you can see, those students were let out one by one, but under VIPD police protection. We will have more for you on this story tomorrow. And in other news, we have an update on the story we brought to you last night regarding the vandalism at the Alexander Henderson School.
Parents and guardians of students at Alexander Henderson Elementary are advised that the school will be closed tomorrow, Thursday, April 12th, as maintenance crews continue to clean up the campus, which was broken into over the holiday weekend. The school staff is expected to report in at 8 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday. The department will continue to keep the public updated on the status of the cleanup and will let parents know if additional days off are needed. Again, Alexander Henderson Elementary School will be closed on Thursday, April 12th, but the staff is expected to report in at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
The EPA recently fined the Department of Health for long-term mismanagement of chemicals.
Problems with the Department of Health this evening as the Environmental Protection Agency has levied a fine of $68,000 against the VI Department of Health. Apparently, some pollutants found on both campuses. Here, we're here at Charles Harwood. Apparently these were stored in the back, I believe, somewhere there. And also in St. Thomas at their plant there. Right now, I'd like to go to spokesperson for the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, for our region, Mr. John Martin. He's going to talk to you about these fines against our Department of Health.
In this case, the Department of Health was storing various chemicals, including pesticides, and they weren't being stored correctly. These potentially dangerous chemicals were being stored in a haphazard manner. People exposed to these could suffer from skin or eye irritation, and even potentially, the most serious cases, they could potentially affect hormone or the endocrine systems. These fines ultimately addressed that.
Now let's go to the Department of Health spokesperson, Eunice Bedminster, to see what she has to say.
As the release from the EPA noted, the Department of Health, since the initial order back in 2010, is in compliance. We've removed all outdated chemicals. We've conducted inventory and properly stored the remaining chemicals. We were now in compliance, and the settlement that the EPA said in their release was $68,000. They announced that today, and it was actually a settlement because we initially faced an assessment of about $40,000 more. So we are happy that it was reduced, and one of the reasons, and the main reasons why it was reduced, we were able to hire Kral Environmental of St. Croix, which did the packing and shipping of the hazardous chemicals, and this was shipped off to an approved treatment, storage, disposal facility. It's an EPA-approved facility.
In front of Charles Harwood Hospital, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Last week, like all over the country, our territory responded to the shooting of unarmed teen Trayvon Martin by holding a protest.
Jonathan McGregor, and I'm a 17-year-old senior attending the St. Croix Educational Complex. As you may know, Trayvon Martin was a 17-year-old African-American who was shot to death while walking home in a Florida neighborhood. This senseless killing has created a national outcry, and marches of protest as to why his killer has not been arrested have been held all across the United States, including what we did today here in the United States Virgin Islands. Whenever I think about this case, I remember the civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And if you really think about it, many of us could have been in Trayvon's shoes. Therefore, I thought that it would be very important that we show our support to him today.
A political cartoonist by the name of Edgar Argo said, "Justice is blind, but she has very sophisticated listening devices." So if Lady Justice can hear us right now, I would like her to hear me say that we want justice for Trayvon. So together with me, after 3, everyone shout, "Justice for Trayvon." 1, 2, 3. Justice for Trayvon. 1, 2, 3. Justice for Trayvon. And one more time so that Lady Justice can hear us clearly with no mistake. 1, 2, 3. Justice for Trayvon.
That I go in bed, I look at the national news and I grieved over it. Today you have brought me joy that we could have depended on you to take the lead on this. And if when that other march takes place, it will be to your credit, no one else, your credit.
If this is what happens now, then what comes next? If this is what we must live for, then why has it become something to die for? The color of our skin is but a color, so why do some people only see skin deep? Why must they include such things in their minds of us based on a color that we must keep? As society, we must realize that we must see what cannot be seen. When thinking of others, personality should determine what a person really means. Let the killers be killers and the robbers be robbers, but allow the innocent to have a chance to be free. Should they judge us by the way we appear? Look at yourself, and now look at me. Two completely different people with two completely different lives. Mine, we might share the same color, we do not have the same eyes. Our eyes seek a different path, and our minds are set on different goals. So why must a story like this live on to be told? There can be no justification for the innocence of wearing a hoodie that caused this death. If this is what happens now, then someone tell me what comes next.
Hold my hand,
Baby, I promise
that I do all I can.
things will go better if you just
Hold my hand,
nothing can get between us if you just
hold my hand.
This life don't last forever.
Hold my hand,
Tell me what we're waiting for.
hold my hand,
Better off being together
hold my hand.
than being miserable alone. I'm in every boy, but together we can be alright.
Be alright.
When it gets dark, when it gets cold, we help each other till we see the sunlight.
Hold my hand.
Breaking news, the Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman will be charged in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin in Sanford, Florida. And ABC World News Tonight, which is up right after our broadcast, will be covering this story in depth, as you can imagine. Now, the Roman Catholic community in Puerto Rico is in mourning as an icon has passed away. We'll tell you more in our Caribbean Report. Now here's your news from around the Caribbean region. From Puerto Rico, the first Puerto Rican to be made Cardinal of the Roman Catholic Church, Luis Aponte Martinez, died on Tuesday at the age of 89. Puerto Rican Governor Luis Fortuno declared there will be a state of mourning for the next 5 days, with all Puerto Rican and U.S. flags at public buildings on the island to be flown at half-staff. Cardinal Martinez persuaded Pope John Paul II to come to Puerto Rico in 1984, the only papal visit the island has ever had. From Montserrat, the Physical Planning Unit has launched an art competition to get students thinking about what Montserrat will be like in years to come. Primary school students in grades 4, 5, and 6 must draw a picture depicting what will Montserrat look like in 2022, and secondary school students must submit a picture on the theme, How Can Montserrat Develop Sustainability to 2022? Final winners for the competition will receive a cash prize. From St. Lucia, The Coming of Ord, a film produced in St. Lucia, has just been accepted into the short film corner at this year's Festival de Cannes. The film's executive producer and director, Davina Lee, is one of the faces of the new wave of Caribbean creatives that express their artistic vision through film, video, and experimental art. Before she jets off to Cannes, Davina will be premiering her film at the 3rd Annual Caribbean Tales Film Festival in Barbados on April 14th. From Trinidad, with the release of her new album, Nicki Minaj is creating history by becoming the first female rapper to score a #1 album in the UK, surpassing records set by Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, and Eve. Over the weekend, Pink Friday Roman Reloaded became the fastest-selling album over the year when it sold 20,000 units in the UK within 24 hours. From Antigua, more than 20 employees received letters last week informing them that their services would no longer be required as of April 15th. Liet's cargo and quick pack department has been outsourced to the Barbados-based Caribbean Airport Services. And from Jamaica, CNN's Human to Hero caught up with Veronica Campbell-Brown, the Trelawney-born sprinter who hails from the same Jamaican parish that has given the world champion men's sprinter Usain Bolt, to talk about the Summer Olympics in London. The 29-year-old Jamaican sprinter has had to overcome grinding poverty to become one of the greatest Olympians her country has ever produced, after being spotted running barefoot at school one day. Now she faces her toughest test at her 4th Games. If she emerges triumphant, she will be the first person in history to win 3 consecutive gold medals in the distance. And we are all behind her. Be sure to check Facebook for all your Caribbean Report stories and details. Now here's your weekly Crime Stoppers report.
This is Judy Buckley with your weekly Crime Stoppers report. Crime Stoppers needs your help to continue making our U.S. Virgin Islands a safer place to live and work and raise a family. This week, we'd like to explain exactly how your tips remain totally anonymous. Protecting your anonymity is key to the success of the Crime Stoppers program. Using the communication facilities provided by National Crime Stoppers affiliates, we have technology in place which makes it virtually impossible for us, for law enforcement, an attorney, or anybody else to trace your phone call, text message, or web tip back to you. When you dial 1-800-222-TIPS, the call goes to a private telephone company in Virginia. They transfer your call to one of their own in-house phone lines, and then they forward it on to our answering service in Texas. Even if one of our Texas operators had caller ID, which they don't, the only number they would see is from Virginia, not your number. So if someone were able to get the telephone records of our Texas answering service, the number recorded would be from the service in Virginia. The Virginia company purges all of their transfer records at the end of each month. Web and text tips are handled in a very similar fashion. The messages are routed to computers in Canada, where it is legal to transfer your message to another computer before forwarding it on to us. Even though we can send messages back and forth to you, this makes it impossible for anyone to trace a message back to your computer or your cell phone. Finally, special IRS rules permit all Crime Stoppers rewards to be paid in cash with no tax reporting. One of our volunteers will deliver the cash to you at a time and place of your choosing, or we will even hide it somewhere for you to pick up later. Since the original Crime Stoppers organization began service in 1976, there are no known instances where an anonymous citizen's identity has ever been revealed using Crime Stoppers information. If you know something, you can safely say something by submitting information on any crime at our website, www.crimestoppersusvi.org, or by calling 1-800-222-TIPS, which is 8477. This has been your weekly Crime Stoppers report.
As always, if you know something, please say something. Now, St. Croix got a visit from the Big Easy recently. New Orleans native Amauunet Ashe wants to bring an exciting program to St. Croix schools.
We are here with Miss Amauunet, who is actually visiting, along with Wes the Best, who's actually visiting us from New Orleans because she's here to bring a pilot program that she successfully implemented in the schools there regarding drama in the regular curriculum. I'm sorry, it's more like performing arts. Miss Amauunet, talk to us about what you've done.
Well, first of all, I'm excited and I'm grateful to be here. What Young Audience does is they incorporate and inspire and empower and unite children and communities through education, art, and culture. So for almost 50 years, we've been doing that successfully in and around the New Orleans communities. And I want to bring that stateside art-based integration here to St. Croix. The age group that we like to really connect with is the K through first, and incorporate art-based curriculum that links the core curricula of language, arts, and language, because I understand that coming into school, that plays a big challenge, or has a challenge with the growth and development of the children once they come into school at the school age. So we really want to focus on dealing with visual arts, drama, theater, dance, music, all culturally connected to what we do in New Orleans.
Tell us how we can get in touch with you.
I can be reached in New Orleans, Louisiana, Young Audience chapter there. Our number is area code 504-523-3525, or you can personally reach me at Amauunet, that's AMAUUNET, at yahoo.com.
Thank you so much. And again, we're proud of all of our success stories, and we are thankful to have people here looking out for our children.
Speaking of visits to St. Croix, we'll tell you all about a musician who's visiting all the way from Brazil when we come back.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
News Channel 8's Wes Small spoke with Brian Silber of Island Music Journeys about an upcoming event from a world-renowned musician.
I'm here with Brian Silber, and again, you're the director, and you also found an organization that brings down a lot of fantastic musicians from all over the world. And you want to talk about this one that is coming to community theater this weekend. Brian, please tell us all about this dynamic young man.
Island Music Journeys is our nonprofit organization that is bringing Celso Machado, a virtuoso Brazilian guitarist, to the Caribbean Community Theater this Saturday night, 7:30, for one show on the island. And tickets are available online at islandmusicjourneys.com. And I encourage people that are interested in purchasing them to don't delay, because this will be packed house. We sold out our last wonderful event last year at the same theater. And you can also get tickets at Quinn House Galleries, Undercover Books, and Polly's at the Pier. Online, Island Music Journeys is a really great source to go. There are no fees for doing so. And Celso is an extraordinary virtuoso Brazilian guitarist, born and raised in Sao Paulo, comes from one of the iconic, legendary musical families in Sao Paulo, the Machado family, and very much looking forward to his appearance here this weekend.
Fantastic. I want to remind you that your group is a nonprofit organization, and we look forward then to making it down to check that out. And if you don't make it to see that, Channel 8 plans to try to catch up to him in one of the workshops he's going to be doing at Central, and that's going to be on Monday. Hopefully he gets to give a workshop up to the students there.
Yeah, part and parcel to our mission with Island Music Journeys is our Kids of Notability music programs that we've been doing for the last number of years. Each year we bring our artist that's visiting on island and performing to do a music workshop. Actually, it's a performance for the music students that are invited from a number of public and private schools. We've been doing them at the complex. This Monday we'll be doing it at Central High. And I would like to add, it's going to be about 9 o'clock. Anyone that wants information as to where it is, it'll be an hour long from about 9 to 10. Celso will be performing for the music students and leaving them with quite a bit of inspiration, and also question and answer session. Any parents with children in a music program that they don't know anything about this can call 718-1111, get some more information from me as to how their child may be able to attend.
Brian, thank you very much. You and your organization have wings waiting for you guys when you get to heaven. Thanks a lot. We need anything
Wes.
that
I
we can
appreciate
get right
the
now.
opportunity.
All right. For News Channel 8, I'm Wes Small.